Wow. Wow. Wow, I turned into Wolf Boy there for a second. Well, hello, welcome back to the Shlicketty DooCast. Shlicketty Googity Goo. We're at episode 92. Yay! And guess what? We're gonna doodle again! Mike's here. I'm Aaron Forsyth, by the way. Mike Anderson over here, coming out of the garage.
You know, I notice the music stays up too long when I come in, but I kind of like it that way. I like our theme song.
Yeah, it works. I mean, we've had it longer than the old theme song, so.
I like it. I always enjoy it. Whenever I, check it when I get done with the edit, I go back and turn on the speakers and,
I know, it's sonically tight, it works.
Pretty beefy.
Now, yeah, I know. I was thinking, I was contemplating that the other day. Do we want to swap it out or switch it up? Do we have any other idea? And I was like, you know what, this is working for now.
I like it.
Yeah, it harkens back to our metal roots.
It does.
It does. Yeah. It's action-packed, it's action metal. It's cool, that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fairly grindy.
All right, what do we got today?
So this is episode 92. 92.
90 deuces.
I'm gonna adjust your camera.
Uh-oh, we're gonna do a little camera work here. All right, we're fixing it.
That'll just make it more difficult for me to edit later.
That's all right, that's all right. Well, we have fired our intern for that one episode, so.
Although, I keyframed that one time. One time I did that where I adjusted it. I keyframed it, so you don't even notice it.
Oh.
I just went in and manually, start point, stop point. It fills the in between.
Okay.
Fun.
So yeah, we got rid of our intern Juarez, Lucky Juarez.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, well, he had to go. We had that bad episode the other month, or 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago we had that, and the Flicketty review was looking a little rough on the visual.
Oh, you're blaming the quality on it?
Yeah. Well, they blame the interns. What you get? You get what you pay for, huh?
Well, yeah, it was some free software that I got from somebody in a bathroom at a truck stop.
Right, all right.
So I figured...
Truck stop software.
Yeah, so I figured this will be fine.
All right.
This will work well.
A little rope-a-dope fucking glory hole software.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's just lack of video settings in my cell phone that we were using for it. We're using yours now.
Yeah.
But actually, your picture doesn't look bad. It's just
it's a Pixel phone, Google Pixel phone.
Yeah, it's really not too bad, but it's like I can really kind of tell the difference in quality.
They're asking for if I want to I think I'm due my program or my
cell phone plan?
Policy plan. Yeah, it's all paid for. So I think I'm up for I could get an upgrade if I get the newer version.
I feel like you just got this like 2 years ago.
I know. Well, it was a 2-year plan, I think.
Oh.
Maybe 3-year plan, 2-year plan. Yeah.
Interesting. So have you ever considered the idea of switching to an iPhone?
Yes, I've considered it, but I'm not in the Apple cult. And I feel like once I get there, I might not be able to get out. And I like the integration of the Apple. I like how they integrate everything.
Well, first off, it's not a cult.
The girlfriend's got it.
It's not a cult.
She's got the whole Apple Cloud. She's got the thing. Her watch is tied in with her Nuva ring into her watch, into her phone. Everything she updates. Her Alexa on the wall is tied into everything.
Sure, I get that, and I'm not talking that because I don't do any of that with the voice assistant.
She is teched up.
And the Siri and all that. Yeah, and that works for a lot of people, and I've actually seen people do some pretty snazzy stuff with that. You can get it all sort of synced together, to where like you can have, if you get one of those cool Alexa alarm clocks, it can wake you up and tell you what your meetings for the day are.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like it'll just read down your, like you just put all your events on your calendar.
Yeah, she's like, oh, dim the lights, 20%,
Oh, that's just voice control.
Yeah, fire up the rabbit, Yeah, she's got it all. So, it's fine, it's cool.
I'm talking specifically in terms of shooting video for in here for the podcast. Because we're using this Pixel, and these Pixels have an issue with longer videos, over an hour, losing audio and video sync.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. If you don't, I'm not going to explain it right now. I don't know what to tell you. But so if you go with another Pixel, it's going to be the same. But I keep hearing from people that those Apples are, great. Rome was showing me pictures that his daughter took at the Deftones concert.
Yeah, they're pictures though, they're stills.
That is true.
And one thing, I got a giant drive going on there? Doesn't the Apple shoot it up to the cloud, or have a limited on the phone and then it goes to iCloud? I don't know.
That I don't know.
There's something going on there. I'd hate for it not to be able to handle an hour and a half straight of me jib-jabbing and then a Shlicketty review cast for a half hour.
That is a good point. I don't know about that because like my cell phone has built-in storage, but then I also can put a SD card in there, which effectively doubled my storage capacity.
And mine has a big, it's not a ship in a bottle. It's pretty big. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, but we're talking about image quality.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all getting to be a point up now. They're all getting to be pretty industry standard. As long as you don't get a shitbird, I think if I got a top-of-the-line Google phone is equal to the top-of-the-line Apple phone. I think those two.
I don't know. I think.
I think it's like a Honda and a Toyota.
I think Google with the images on the phones are chasing Apple's. Apple's.
Well, here's the thing.
The standard.
I know some professional film editing people. I won't say their names on. I'll tell you off camera who they are, but they swear by they go. They're the ones who turned me on to the Google phone. They said go get the Google phone. Yes, because it's and they're professional photographers and professional videographers that go. If you're gonna do it, the Google phone's pretty good,
Yeah.
But now keep in mind, this was 2 years ago. Now there's
again,
newer Apples come out.
I mean, are they talking in terms of, just you're on vacation somewhere grabbing footage? Here's the thing I noticed. When I had my first full smartphone, let's say 2014 maybe, 2009 maybe, something like that, I went down to Brazil the first time. And it was getting sunsetty time, and we were out in this boat. And by boat, I mean like a wooden dugout canoe with a catamaran thing. And we had paid a guy a couple of bucks to, take us out to this little island. We hung out on the island getting fucking wasted all day. No, that wasn't the first time. Doesn't matter. We're on this boat. We're coming back in at sunset. And I'm like, God damn, this is beautiful. The colors in the sky. I want to take a picture. It's going like orange to purple,
Yeah.
I gotta take a picture. Cell phone. It looks good. Snap it. It's fucking dark. It looks like shit. The image sensors aren't sensitive enough to do well in low light. Everything does good in sunlight. Everything does good in bright light. So when you get into the, the lower light situations.
Mine was pretty good. Like now around here, are you familiar with every now and then in Erie they'll go, the weathermen will go, you can see the northern lights tonight if you go look. Yes.
No.
You can. But you can't see it with your naked eye. You got to take a picture of it with your phone. And then you take a picture of what you think. You're looking at your phone like this, and you go, that looks like a shitty picture. It's all dark. You click it, and then you look down at it. You take it in the house, and you'll see the glow.
Huh.
You'll see the
The Aurora Borealis.
Aurora Borealis. Yeah, the green and purple. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I have many pictures of that. But you can't see it with your naked eye,
Yeah.
That's the point. And I'm looking right at the fucking lake. I'm right on the lake looking north.
Well, it was nutty when I was in Brazil because things like, so you're in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
So like at night, one time we were hanging on the beach and it was like nighttime, and Orion is gigantic.
Oh, the belts and then the Canis Major and Canis Minor off to the left.
Yeah. Orion. Like here, like
There's
Orion.
no Orion in the sky because of three in a row.
Yeah, but it's like this big in the sky.
Really?
Down there, it was like this. It was like you were sitting on the beach, the ocean, and then fucking Orion's like right there. And it's like massive. And it was like, holy shit.
Wow.
I don't know why.
Yeah, they always say, now in a lot of UFO lore, the star directly south of Orion's belt, which is the Sirius star, is where supposedly they're from, but I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I was told to look there.
No, it's Zeta Reticuli.
What's the Zeta Reticuli?
That's where they're from.
I've never heard that term, Zeta Reticuli.
Really?
Yeah,
it's
I don't know
super
that.
well known. What do you're not even listening to the right podcast or anything.
well, it must be true. I heard it on a podcast. No, but getting back to the phone though, before we'll talk about aliens if you want. But before, I was going to ask you because you had said something, and I go, save it for the pod. On a phone, airplane mode. Give me the skinny. You said you saw something about airplane mode. I have this big thing in my head. Airplane mode's a bunch of bullshit. Other than it's just turning off. It's saving your battery. But when you're on an airplane?
Okay.
Finish me up.
All right. Let me lay this out here. So this is from a video I was watching on YouTube.
Okay.
Just before we came over here tonight, and it was just something that popped up, in the algorithm, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting, And so it was some pilot saying, it was something about like, is airplane mode, a lie? Pilot tells all, right? And so it's this pilot, commercial pilot, and he's, it's almost like one of those Reddit Ask Me Anythings where he's got a list of like 10 questions or something like that people have taken in, somebody's got from the internet. It's usually some magazine or something like that, or newspaper, who knows. So the pilot's just there on camera reading the questions, giving the answers, and they had a whole bunch of stuff. Like one dude was like, my cousin was on a plane one time and they were going to take off, but then they had to go back to the airport because another pilot in a different plane had said that there was liquid leaking out of our plane. And they're like, what's with that, So then he's like, oh, could be this, could be that, whatever. And, so people just had general questions about that sort of stuff. And so one of the questions was about airplane mode.
That's what I want to know.
So the pilot said, and here's the analogy I'm going to throw in to make this all make clear sense so there's not even any question.
All right.
Remember back in the early days of the cell phones, when you went into a hospital, they'd tell you to turn the phones off.
Yeah.
Right. That was because, I don't think it was fully digital signals at that point.
Yeah, there's still, it still had a vibrate, like an oscillation.
Yeah,
to
it was like the newer technology, so it's kind of barbaric at the time. And so I don't know if they thought that it could or they knew that it did interfere with some of like the EKGs or whatever that are in the hospital, the electrocardiogram machines or any of the ones that go ping, as Monty Python says, keeps people alive and whatever. Or if it was just, an overabundance of cautiousness towards, there being electromagnetic interference, which is the thing. So, but then once they switched all the cell phones to like this sort of like, they're sending digital packets. They're sending ones and zeros now. It's the difference between like transmitting your voice in waves over through the air.
Yeah, now it's ones and zeros. Yeah, it's like it's There's no more phone modems and oscillation about it.
Right. Exactly. Because when it's digital means literally binary. There's ones and zeros, and that's it.
Okay. So when they say you got to turn your cell phone off, sir.
So back in the day, it was a thing because it would interfere with the radio communications, with the tower, and it could interfere with, because the planes weren't made to be shielded from that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? There's a lot of electronics and stuff like that. So they don't know. So just out of caution, back in the day, they'd have us turn the phones off and shit like that. These days, I think just with hospitals, it's not that big of a deal. Right. They never tell you to turn your phone off at the hospital.
No, you just do it out of courtesy. You don't really, but they don't tell you when you walk in the hospital, turn this off. Do it. It's just a common respect. It's like turn your volume down.
No, I mean, no, turning the phone itself off.
Oh yeah.
Like not even receiving text messages or looking at the internet or phone calls or anything. That's how it used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't matter because it's all digital signals. So it's all coded and compressed.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, my girlfriend's fully working in a hospital, and I'll text her, and she's in the middle of a case.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with the airplanes and the cell phone signals. So now that it's all digital, it's less of an issue for interference.
Yeah.
He said. So it's mostly just a holdover that they have you turn them off during takeoffs and landings and whatnots and all that sort of shit to put it in airplane mode. He said though, it can interfere if they're in bad weather. So he's like, it's not super likely, but it could because you've got like lightning in the air. There's a lot more static electricity in the air. The ions are moving together, all that sort of stuff. So they could have communication.
So it's more of an ounce of prevention.
Exactly.
Pound of cure.
Yeah, he was saying these days, if they're flying in good weather, he's like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I thought it was just, to me, when they tell you, because they've had me like shut my Kindle off. Close your Kindle, sir, and I'm like, it's a Kindle.
I know. The Kindle is like, it's not even hardly connected to the internet at all.
No. But they want you to. But I always think this is their way of us saying, look forward, so we can watch her do her little. Okay, and then we got the exits over there. We got the exits over there. You know, and they do their little.
Yeah.
And they pull down the thing.
It's the only power they have.
Yeah. So I think it's so they could put on their little presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so therefore, our cell phones. Well, I mean, now on the reverse end, like right now, my phone that's recording this episode of me is in airplane mode.
Right.
And that's just because it's still functional. It's just not receiving, you know?
It's not connected to, basically it's like turning off Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You can turn off Wi-Fi, which is your Wi-Fi, then you're still going to get the cell phone signals.
Yeah.
Airplane mode just turns both of them off at once.
Right. Yeah.
Which is handy for when you need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, you
so
could
the
just
phones, so turning off your phone, you're not gonna sink the plane over, you know, over Bermuda Triangle here.
right,
Yeah.
right. So, yeah, it sort of depends on what the cabin people tell you.
Yeah. So I think stewardesses just do that just so everyone's
Flight
on the same page.
Flight attendants.
Flight attendant, yeah. So everyone's on the same page, looking forward, you know.
Yeah, I think so. I think. Yeah, it's a little bit of a power play. It's a little bit of a power trip, but it's procedure, it's protocol, or whatever. They definitely don't want people to have stuff in their hands, and I can see for takeoffs and landings, you know what I mean, or whatever. But
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, you can taxi out there and be out on the runway for like 45 minutes waiting to take off or whatever.
Yeah. And what if you got like a screaming kid and the only way is for him to play Angry Birds on the iPad, you know?
Oh, you got bigger problems than that.
You know?
That's yeah.
A little kid, and the only thing that'll shut him up is Angry Birds.
Man, you got bigger problems than
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta deal with that. But yeah, for the most part,
Yeah.
the phone really isn't really interfering with anything now these days.
Yeah, I think we're pretty high tech. But I could see early like 2010 tech. All right, maybe 2015 tech, because I remember in 2015 I was flying a lot, and there was a lot of turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. Oh my God, turn it off, you know.
Yeah.
But you got to turn it back on when you're, because especially, man, going through airports and stuff. You're waiting for text things, and
Are you?
Yeah,
Like
when you
updates
got the
from
Delta app and stuff like that, you got to make sure your plane's not delayed and everything. Like everything's running on time. Okay, weather. Or you checking the weather?
I mean,
But they have it on screen.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like you're in the airport, like go look at the board.
Yeah.
Which sometimes it takes a while to find a board.
Yeah, but it's fun. I like it. Half the fun is going to find stuff. I like airplane. I love the airport life. I love going on planes. I love just, okay, we're here. We got a 1 hour layaway. Okay, let's go find the bathrooms. Let's go find the drinking fountains. Where's the board? Let's find out where we're doing for the next hour.
Yeah, I don't mind the adventure of traveling and all. It's not super fun to do it by yourself.
Yeah, true, because then you can go in shifts. Like, okay, you stay with the bags. I'll go this way.
I'll go to the bathroom. That's a big one, because otherwise you're gonna schlep all your shit into the fucking
Right.
into
That's
the stall
only
with you.
downside. Yeah.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, when you got your carry-on, you can't. Yeah, you got to wheel that thing into the stall with you.
Yeah, and plus, like, sometimes I'll just fucking give up on shit. Like, if I'm like, oh, I want to get something to eat, and you go to the one restaurant that looks decent to you, and it's fucking packed full, and I'll be like, fuck it, I'll just eat later.
Yeah.
Whereas with the girlfriend,
you're schlepping your carry-on, and then you go, how am I going to carry the salad, all my utensils, a drink,
Oh, no. We sit down to eat.
Oh, you're okay. You're not going to carry it back to your gate?
To where? To where?
To the
My
gate?
To what? Balance it on my lap? Fuck that. Fuck that noise.
I like camping in the gate, though. And then I take periodic reconnaissance missions.
I've done that. When I got my first laptop, I had like a 4-hour layover, and I had Logic and a pair of headphones with me. And so I remember finding a plug. I was just in the walkway, but it was like sort of late at night or something like that. So I just went, sat down, made my little camp against the wall, plugged in my laptop, put on the headphones, editing some drum tracks for a couple hours.
That's fun.
Yeah, makes the time really fly by.
It's not a bad deal.
No. But these days, like with the girlfriend, because the girlfriend's like a professional traveler. Like she's been traveling for a long time. She likes it. She's good at it. She knows what she's doing with it. So with her sort of on point, I'm just sort of like, she's like, do you want to do this? And I'm like, all right. She'll be like, do you want to drink? I'm like, all right, let's drink. Or it'll be like, she's like, we're not going to be able to eat, until then. So we got some time now. Let's get some food now. You know? sort of thing. Or, it'll just be like, oh, this is a short layover. We got about 45 minutes. Let's see how many drinks we can get in us, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Do shit like that.
I did it myself. But, yeah, now with her and I travel, she's overplanned, so we're there 3 hours early. It's like, all right.
I had to talk my girlfriend down off the ledge on that sort of thing. She's like, what do you think, 3 hours at the airport? I'm like, dude, I mean, like,
yeah.
Like, you can definitely get that at times in Phoenix because they'll have, like, the super long lines to get through security. You know, at the bigger airports, you definitely can get that sometimes. So depending on the day and the time of day that you're going, like, if she's got, like, a 9:30 at night flight,
yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it's the 8 a.m. on a Monday. You don't, you better get there at 6.
Yeah. Yeah, or the Sunday night or whatever. Yeah, it's the business
there's
travel.
little times where you go, okay, I got it.
Yeah, definitely around the holidays or whatever. But I think there was a time I went to the Phoenix airport and I was in the line for security, and I was in line for like, it was a huge line. It looked like it was never going to get there, but I think I got through it in like, I don't know, like 25 minutes. Like, they actually move pretty quick. The line looks daunting, but when you're in it, it moves along pretty good.
Yeah. And now, hey, upside to the new cookie regime, they got rid of the take your shoes off thing. Were you traveling? I remember in the 2015s and everything, when you're traveling, it's like, take your belt off, take your shoes off. You're literally...
That's why when the stand-up comedians complain about this, I'm like, I'm that guy, and number two, fuck you. I wear sandals, I wear gym shorts, and a t-shirt. And they're like, empty your pockets, and I'll try and have like nothing on me. I'll have my wallet, and then I'll have, because once I like leave the house and stuff like that, like if we're going somewhere, I take my keys, the house keys, truck key. I always have my backpack. So I put them in the side pocket on the backpack.
Hey, just slide it through.
Yeah.
But the old take it off your, I learned real quick, it was like, when you first start traveling, you're like, oh, I'm going to put on my belt, my jewelry, and then after a while you go, oh. Fuck jewelry, fuck watches, fuck all your, you don't need the belt, you don't need the chain wallet, all that stuff's gotta go. Trim down, you gotta be, because anything metal, of course,
Yeah.
But take it off your belt. But thankfully, we don't have to take off our shoes anymore. That's not a thing anymore.
Good. I mean...
Just because one dipshit tried to shoe bomber. Remember the shoe bomber guy?
I do. I remember when that happened.
Yeah, didn't he have like C4 in the bottom of his fucking...
Yeah, like in the heel or something.
What an idiot. He was going to literally blow his leg off.
So stupid.
Yeah. They said it wasn't even enough to like take the plane down. It would have just pretty much killed the people around him and blown his leg off.
Was it even an actual functioning device?
I don't know. He just had enough to do something. I don't know if he had the other component to it. I think it was one of those, he was going to rendezvous with the second component. And then they caught him.
Click their heels together and magic happens?
Mix your chocolate with my peanut butter and we'll make mayhem together.
Yeah, I'll see you in heaven, buddy. Buddy.
Yeah, wow. Let's lock eyes on the promenade and make some mayhem.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, I do remember that happened. That was a while ago.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot.
And I was an idiot. Well, that's good they got rid of that one, because that's just... That's the one that sort of bothered me. But then again, so if I'm wearing sandals in the airport, because they got to have me take my shoes off and that sort of stuff. Yeah. Like, I'm not wearing anything with laces or whatever. But this is like when we were based out of Phoenix. You know what I mean? So this is like...
Yeah, warm weather world, it's all right. But, I just don't like to see open toes,
I know a lot of people are like that. And, I was like that when I got out there and everything. And, after a certain point... It was actually when we went to Brazil. Because the girlfriend's like making fun of me because I'm wearing like, high top fucking Reeboks with socks in Brazil. And I'm like, oh, it's hot. And she's like, it's because you're wearing those mucklucks,
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's true when you're in Brazil. Yeah, I think if you're south of the Mason-Dixon line, you can get away with it. If you're above the Mason-Dixon line, I don't want to see your toes. I don't.
That's what some of those stand-up comedians say. These people, like Sebastian Maniscalco, with his whole fucking
yeah, well,
thing.
he's kind of, yeah, he's
kind of people's toes. It's like, so what?
He's a little persnickety, more than the average guy.
I know. He reminds me of Grignell.
Yeah, I don't find. Well, I mean, he's Italian. He comes from the old school where I don't know. The old school people we used to dress up to go on the planes. Don't do that anymore.
That's what these comedians that feel that way always go back to. But here's the flip side to that they never talk. They're like, oh, people used to dress up to fly. That's because you used to get service. on the plane.
Yeah, we used to get meals and drinks.
But also, you weren't crammed into an 18-inch seat.
No.
It wasn't overfilled.
Nope.
You could smoke on it. They had a fucking bar back there. You could walk around and hang out. You didn't have to be like this the whole time.
Yeah, it was like a train car.
Yeah. Yeah, it was more like a train car.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And so it's like, if it were that sort of situation, look, I don't know if you've ever flown first class.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Because the girlfriend was good with the miles and stuff. And so,
Yeah.
she did it, first time we went to Brazil, she did it as a surprise for me on the way back. We were there at the airport looking to, get on the plane, and she's like, I got a surprise for you. I'm like, well, I was just so ready to be done with the whole Brazil at that point and just get the fuck back. I was like, I'm like, don't tell me we're staying another week or we're going to a different city or something. I'm like, don't tell me we're not going home now.
We're going to Africa.
She's like, no, because with her like miles that she had, it was like $150 to upgrade to first class.
Ooh, I would do that all day.
Yeah, so she's like, ping, and so
they send around did they send around the basket with all the treats in it and
dude,
blanket, pillow? You're like, all right, there's that guy. There's always somebody semi-famous around. You go, hey, there's that basketball guy. I don't know,
I'll tell you a little story on that. No, nobody famous or anything like that, but the second time I flew first class, the girlfriend did the upgrade thing. Again, we were coming back from Brazil, and
that's a long ride. So upgrade to first class.
No, wait. The second time it happened, she didn't. The second time it happened, I was once again so over Brazil, and Brazil's very lovely where we go, the little beachy seaside community, but in the major cities, people are sort of like entitled douches, and you bump up against them in the airports. Mm-hmm. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
And they're very pushy. Like, the whole luggage carousel thing? Here in America, we stand back so you can see it, and so people can go up and get their bag. Yeah. Nope, they crowd around it, so you can't see shit. So you have to go stand up. You know what I mean? It's that sort of dumbness.
Yeah.
So I was so annoyed by the time we're standing on the tarmac to load into the plane, because they didn't have the jetway sort of thing. And I pulled the girlfriend aside, and I'm like, let's just wait and let everybody else go in and get settled first, because I can't handle the push of the crowd, And like, I don't like being in the plane anyway. Yeah. So we hung back. We go in last. We go to our seats. There's some lady and her kid sitting in our seats. So I go to the stewardess lady. I'm like, hey, these people are in their seats or whatever. They're like, oh, what's your name or whatever. Ba, ba, ba. She goes, all right, hang on a second. She turns to the computer. Ba, 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 ba. Then she turns back around and she's got 2 tickets in her hand with our names on it with single-digit seat rows. And she goes, all right, give me 1 second, and then I'll take you to your new seats. So she walks away, and I go to the girlfriend. I'm like, did you see that? And she's like, those are single-digit seat rows. I'm like, are we going to first class? She's like, I think so. And I'm like, don't fucking get us kicked out. Don't. Yeah. So that was the second time. That was pretty good. And I feel like they had overbooked the plane, which is why they kicked us up to first class.
Ah.
I think everybody in first class had been kicked up to first class, because when you get to first class, the seat and shit is all different.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I'm looking around like, how does any of this work? Everybody in first class was doing the same thing. We're all looking around like it's either like, I can't believe this.
Where are all these plugs? What?
No, it's like how do you get I know there's a tray table. Where does it come from? How does it work?
Yeah, they should give you a pamphlet. Welcome to first class.
Yeah, is this your first time?
Yeah,
it was so
first
funny.
time in first class. Here's your pamphlet.
We were all just like lost and disoriented. Because I looked back to see like, what's anybody else doing? They're looking around lost as well. They're all like touching buttons. Like nobody even looked at me, because they were all like, oh, looking.
Both times I did first class, it was at night, and they gave it to me. They upgraded me for free, but it was like a night flight, so I didn't get to see what was going on. It was just kind of like everyone's got their blankets on. You see lights, and it's like, oh. All of a sudden, the lady's like, you want anything to drink? And, sir, would you like here's a basket of goodies. I'll take that. It was like trick or treats.
All right. So the first time we flew first class.
And everyone's whispering. It's quiet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the flight, from the States down to Brazil, it's like a one-shot from the hub right down to like Sao Paulo or whatever. So it's like 9 hours, 10 hours, 11, 12 hours, something like that. And it's usually overnight. So the first time we did it, we're up in the first class, and they're coming around with the dinner service. And so up in first class, they come around, they give you the dinner thing, A lady shows up with a big woven basket with napkins on it. And she goes, "Would you like a roll?" And the girlfriend at the time is not eating gluten, so she's like, "No." And I'm like, "What do you got?" And so she opens up, and she's got all sorts of fucking rolls.
Rolls and breads and
Hot steaming rolls and stuff. And I was like,
it's a whole different world up there in first class.
And I'm like, "What's that? What's that? What's that?" I'm like, "All right, can I have that?" And she goes, "Sure." And I go, "Can I have another one?" She goes, "Sure you can." I'm like, first class.
Another one.
First class, man.
Yeah.
Like, they'll allow you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because normally back in Coach, it's like, you can only have the 6 peanuts that are in this container.
Would you like the pretzels or the Lorna Dunes? And they're the little
Those
thing.
pretzels.
Yeah, one or the other.
Yeah, you get
Whereas
5.
first class, they go, take what you want.
Yeah. They're like,
I'll take one of those and
how
one of
many
those.
you want?
one
You
of
want
those.
3, 4 things
Yeah,
of pretzels?
I think I ate like a thing of Nutter Butters and some pretzels. I had like Nutter Butter, literally a sleeve of Nutter Butter.
She comes around later, literally, with the hot towel.
Oh, God.
You wash your hands and wash your face. Then they come around,
Wow.
they're like, do you want slippers, pajamas, a blanket, or a pillow?
Yeah, they did offer me the pillow and the blanket. I never got the slipper offer. I wouldn't have taken them up on it, but...
Yeah. They're just like those grandma slippers from the hospital. You know what I mean? Those isotoner ones.
Papery ones.
Not papery, but it's just material and some traction stickers on the bottom and it's elastic around the top. Whatever. Nothing.
I know. I wish I would have been in first class during full light, so I could see, like, because I knew I was feeling around on my hand thing, and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of 1/8" jacks and buttons over here. There's things going on here. I got tech. I don't know what to do, but I'm in the dark, so there's tech.
So this Brazilian airline that we flew on, they're pretty good with it. So they've got the TV monitors built in to the seat in front of you.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually, the first class, one time, maybe both times, they actually had a Samsung tablet mounted in there.
Wow.
So it's like a Samsung tablet. And I don't know, this is sort of trickled down to everybody now, but you just go in there and watch movies. So I can't sleep on plane flights. I wish I could, but I can't. The girlfriend, she gets her one drink in her and she snoozes out, she's out. So I just sit there, I'm wired. By the time we get to Brazil, it's been like 24 hours of travel. I am a wreck. I'm in bad shape.
I just read the Kindle. I've been known to read a whole book.
Well, if I can watch movies, I'm good to go. And by all means, give me a selection of shit that I never. Because last time I flew, I watched. They had some shit from Apple, so I watched the first 3 episodes of Severance.
Oh,
I'd never seen any of that, so I was like, "Ooh, some Apple stuff. Let's check this out."
it's not a bad one.
I was going to check out Ted Lasso, but all they had was the latest 3rd season.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I want to start with a 3rd season," So.
I can honestly say I've never watched a movie on a plane.
Really?
Never. I always read. I read or I'll close. I love staring out the window. I just get in a hypnotic trance and stare out the window like a retard.
That's how I was when I first started flying.
Yeah, I just do that. I go in hypnotic mode, like, but once I acquired the Kindle and then I started traveling with a Kindle and a book and a Kindle and a book and I bounce between the two, I just stay in book mode.
That's really good though.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I've never seen a movie on a plane.
Oh, I've watched bunches.
Yeah, I take that back. I remember somebody watching like a Thor or one of those in front of me. You ever watch somebody through the
100%.
seat and you're like,
I watched that,
watching them.
I watched that recent Led Zeppelin documentary. There was a lady across the aisle, 1 row up, and she had like an iPad Pro with like the big screen. And she had that on and she had subtitles going.
Oh my God, you're watching the full Led Zeppelin movie.
I did.
Wow.
I just couldn't hear it. So later, it showed up a few weeks later on HBO or Prime or something like that, and I watched it. And I'm like, oh, this is good. It looked good.
Wow, the Led Zeppelin movie. I got to see that.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
I haven't seen it. I have no idea. I haven't even seen a trailer or a clip. I just knew it existed.
I didn't really know it existed either until I saw her watching it, and I was like, what is
It's
this?
sanctioned by all 4 of them, or 3 of them.
John Paul Jones is in it, talking a lot. Yeah. And
Are they in the same room together at any point?
no, I don't think
Or
so.
are they all kind of split up?
Yeah, they're all split up.
It would have been nice for them to at least sit in a room together.
Well, it's like half of it, they talk about the really early days of the band and how they got together and stuff, which is fascinating.
It is.
They really go in more than I've ever seen in any place about how John Paul Jones and Jimmy Page were session musicians.
Right.
They played on Goldfinger.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I knew that.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. I had always heard that those two were the top number one call musicians in London from like 67 to 69 or something like that.
Well, keep in mind, London's not that large, and especially
Exactly.
in 1969, and people that were playing at that level probably you knew everybody.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like if you go, I need a drummer, you probably knew the 30 drummers that were able to do it.
Oh, probably 10.
Yeah. 10 in your zone, yeah.
Yeah. But like you say, I've been to London. London is it's great.
But I mean, it's not that big.
It is, but it's not.
It's
so
condensed.
London is set up it's like, I think with the subways, where the underground out there, they have these rings that go around it. So London 0 is the middle of London, downtown London, what was old London within the Roman walls, making it Londinium, because they have the gates.
Yeah.
They still have a couple of the gates around. But then it goes out to like Ring 9. And so like we went to visit my girlfriend's friend who managed a pub over in like Ring 7 or something like that. It's called Ravens Court. Ravens Court, yeah. The Hammersmith Bridge is right there. And so the Hammersmith Odeon, I'm assuming, is across the bridge.
It would be probably in that neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big old bridge. It's like that green, color. Anyway, and so that was out in like Ring 7 or something, maybe 5. It just felt like suburbs.
True.
But it's still technically London.
Yeah.
But you're so far outside of it.
But to drive from one end to the other, it'd be like here to West Virginia. It's not that far.
Oh, 100%. Because scale-wise, the size of the UK is about the same size of New England.
Yeah.
Which is like...
But if you put it from the tippy top of Lake Erie, probably down to about Morgantown, West Virginia,
Yeah.
Which is 3 hours,
Well, yeah, a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Than maybe like Knoxville or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, not
big at all.
not that huge.
No.
That's why like
and when you would know everybody within that world, you know what I mean? Especially in 1968, and especially being a musician.
Yeah, for that Led Zeppelin thing. Yeah, you definitely got to check out that documentary. So the first half it was just talking about like the beginnings of them, and then the second half was mostly talking about John Bonham. They were pulling from this interview that some reporter did with John Bonham, like way back in the early days,
right?
Like 70, 71, 72, something like that.
Okay.
And which had never been seen before. So that was pretty interesting. So it's a really good documentary.
Do they talk about, I'm sure, do they graze over or talk about their mild reunion, like the 80s and the US Festival and when they're,
No, it's mostly about like old Led Zeppelin, kind of how it started and stuff like that.
Right. So they don't really talk about their little bouts with reunions and side records and things, no?
I mean, if they did, it's just maybe like 2 minutes towards the end of it or something like that.
Yeah.
It really most of the focus was like the old days of them like getting together and getting started. It was a lot about how they met Robert Plant, and he knew Bonham because they had come from the same place in the north. And Page and Jones just sort of knew each other like around the way. They didn't really know each other that well. They knew of each other, and they were play on the same things, but they would go into the studios at different times. And
you know what you got also from that 1968 time, which was fascinating, and it was the same era. I read the book, the Glenn Hughes' book, from, who Glenn Hughes. He was I
know the name.
He was singer in Deep Purple for a while.
Oh,
bass
that's right,
player
that's
guy. He had a drug problem for a while. He's sober now. Still killer. Yeah. He's in Black Country Communion with, Yeah, Glenn Hughes.
I mean, sort of. I know the name.
He's got the greatest. He's still to this day at 70-something. He's got the greatest fucking rock voice still.
Oh, really?
Still has his chops. Yeah, and he plays bass and sings. He's badass.
Oh, really?
But back in the Deep Purple days, he was in Deep Purple at the same time David Coverdale was in Deep Purple. He was in that era, and they were all coked out. But they talk about selling their jet. They had to upgrade to a bigger jet and giving their jet to like Led Zeppelin. And then it was like, oh, Fleetwood Mac's jet, and all these rock stars they knew each other, because.
Oh yeah, totally.
But they were, once you get to a certain level, the Jets, they were selling, but Deep Purple was the bigger band, bigger than Led Zeppelin,
Well,
and the Who was of course bigger than that too.
Right, because when you think about it, Led Zeppelin really only existed for 10 years. Mm-hmm. The first album came out in '69, and John Bonham died in 1980.
Yeah.
So it's about 10 years.
Yeah.
And
there's some downtime towards the 80s.
definitely late 70s into the 80s. But yeah, like you're saying, like there weren't that many of them around at that time.
Yeah.
And they did all sort of know each other. It's like that story about the monkeys meeting the Beetles.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it would be a weird one.
And did you ever watch the documentary about when the Rolling Stones went into exile because they didn't want to pay their tax bill?
No, I've heard urban myths lore about it, but no, I don't really know the truth story. You know, you just wonder if
because it was like early 70s. Rolling Stones got hit with some huge tax bill, and they didn't want to pay it. They were like, "This is robbery." So instead of paying their tax bill, they left the country. They went into exile. So that's why they made that album, Exile.
Exile on Main Street.
Yeah, and so that's how Smoke on the Water became to be, because Rolling Stones, in order to make another album while they were out of the country, they hired a mobile recording studio. So it was this van outfitted with all the latest recording gear that they had shipped over to mainland Europe.
So what does Deep Purple's Smoke on the Water have to do with it?
It's about this place that Deep Purple was going to go and set up in this old hotel to record this album.
Yeah, and didn't something catch on fire across the way?
No, it was the hotel.
Oh, it was a hotel.
So Deep Purple's starting on the 17th. They're gonna get in and start setting up and record for 3 months, 6 months, whatever the hell it is. Mm-hmm. But on the 16th, Frank Zappa's playing there, and Frank Zappa's pyrotechnics lit the place on fire.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was like, I don't know, like Monte Carlo or something like that, or Montenegro or something like that, south of France sort of thing, and so. It was like there was like a little bay, and so they could they're like, isn't that the place where we're going to be recording tomorrow and staying? Oh yeah, it looks to be on fire. Like, oh boy. So that's the song of Smoke on the Water. So if you listen to the lyrics, that's what he's talking about. He tells a story about it.
Yeah.
But it was because the Rolling Stones mobile recording van was down there. They had rented the Mobile Stones mobile recording van.
Oh, I see.
So none of their gear was in the place when it caught fire. So then they just had to go scramble and find a different place. And then you've seen the documentary where they're in this like hotel. They've got the drums set up in the hallways, and they're just using moving blankets to.
Yeah, yeah. In those days, they used to get those old abandoned mansions and stuff like that. Just make a record in an old abandoned mansion.
They still do.
Yeah.
I mean, that was what U2 did for that one record.
Yeah.
They used to have those music videos. And that's what Red Hot Chili Peppers did with Rick Rubin for that Blood Sugar Sex movie.
I guess maybe because they're just maybe easy to come by, or
Well,
they're easy to sublease because they're probably so expensive to run that people want to make a little money off it.
Well, yeah, but a lot of times it's that, and I've heard this so many times with those famous rock stars and recording and stuff. It's like they go to the big city, and so there's too much distraction.
Yeah.
There's too many parties and too much socializing and too much drugs and shit like that. So they go to some out-of-the-way place. Oh, you know what I saw? Somebody went and made a recording studio on an island down in like the Florida Keys or something like that, or French Indonesia or something like that. And that's where the Police recorded Synchronicity. Oh. And so now it's in ruins. So somebody went in there with a camera, like a YouTuber or whatever, and they're poking around the studio. So they're showing you photos of the studio from the press days, because, it was an operating studio for 5 years or something like that. Yeah. But it was something like, with COVID, people couldn't get back to it, and then there was a hurricane that hit, and now nobody's been back to it in 8 years.
Wow.
And it's just fucking rotting.
Wow.
So it's sort of fascinating. But they were talking about that. But it's this idea of the Beatles were the ones that pioneered this whole thing, of going to record in some exotic location.
Yeah.
And then everybody was doing it,
Yeah. And I guess, and since you're getting out of the 60s and the 70s when drugs were just rampant and managers were like, we got to get him out, we got to get them out.
That happened a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times that was factoring in.
Yeah, they were the Glenn Hughes book, if you want to hear about rock star excess, the Glenn Hughes and Deep Purple knows in that era, which is about the same era we're talking about. I mean, they were talking about literally mountains of cocaine.
Oh yeah.
Like mountains, like basketball-sized piles.
It's amazing any of them survived.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Glenn Hughes, he was so strung out back then, and to this day, he's long been sober. But I mean, he talks about in his book how many times he's been revived.
Oh wow.
And he was the big partier. He was he was always a middleman, kind of like a drug dealer. He would bring it to the band. You know what I mean? Like he was the pickup guy. So he was
once
trouble.
again,
That's why they kicked him out of the band, because he was bringing trouble to the, you know.
Well, the bass player always ends up being the most practical person in the band.
Yeah.
That's how you end up playing bass.
Well, there's that, and then because he was the one who wrote and sang on Burn, you know, the Deep Purple Burn.
See,
you know that song?
You'd
know it if you heard it.
Yeah, probably if I heard it.
But they had Coverdale as a singer, and Glenn Hughes was arguably a better singer than him.
Well, that's good.
But he played bass, so that's when they got rid of Glenn Hughes to keep Coverdale, and then they got the guy that
Roger Glover.
Yeah, Glover.
See, to me, the way I know Deep Purple is what I guess is the classic lineup, which I know, like, you know, Space Truckin', Highway Star, and then they got together in the 80s. In 85, they put out Perfect Strangers.
Oh, yeah,
So that's Ian
Gillan.
Ian Gillan singing, of course, Richie Blackmore, Roger Glover on bass, John Lord on drums. Sorry. John Lord's on keyboards, Ian Pace is on drums.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the classic lineup.
That's pretty much the known one, you know.
Yeah. I mean, when they get into that sort of, like, you know, Graham Bonnet, whatever.
But even before that, in the 60s, you know, Deep Purple was bigger band than The Who at one point, you know. I mean, they were around first, you know.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They were bigger. They
weren't around. They weren't around before The Who.
You might want to look that up.
Dude, The Who started when shit was black and white, when it was mods. It was like, they were around in like 62, 63.
They had the mod doofs.
Yeah, they were around 62, 63.
Yeah.
Like,
you ever see that old Led Zeppelin one where they're like all the kids are sitting around them and it's black and white and they have their doofy hair and they're kind of...
That's from when the first album came out.
Yeah.
Because that's where we always see the videos for, like, Communication Breakdown and
Dazed and Confused. And they're all geeky looking and stuff, but it's black and white and the kids are all sitting in a circle around them.
Yeah.
Like they used to do in those old shows back then.
Yeah, the TV shows.
What a weird ritual.
But see, they had that over in Britain the way that we didn't really have stuff like that here until the 70s.
Yeah.
You know, because here it was about the records. So it was the Dick Clark American Bandstand sort of stuff with kids dancing. But over there, it was all about getting the bands into a studio live to play on TV.
Yeah.
You know.
And the kids keeping their composure over there. You know what I mean? There's such an amount of composure that you go.
Yeah, they had a couple of big shows over there. Like I always forget the names because I haven't really been paying attention to that sort of stuff back in a while. But yeah, like you think about bands from the early '60s that were there for that British invasion of the early '60s. Yeah. Stones, you know, they came out in '64. Beatles came out in '64, and the Who came out in '64.
Yeah.
But they were all hammering it for a couple of years before that. Beatles were in Hamburg.
Oh yeah, they're all cover bands. You know.
The Who was doing their
they're probably fresh out of high school.
Mod stuff.
Probably young kids.
Yeah, they were
children.
Yeah,
which is still fascinating in its own right. You know.
But, you know, pound for pound, I like more Who songs than anybody.
Really?
Than Beatles or Stones. Yeah, yeah. I think more of the Who songs are catchy and sort of stick in my head. Like, there's about 6 or 7 good Who songs.
I was always partial to John Entwistle because he's such a great bass player. But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. They're all right. Yeah, I mean, they're fine. They're fine. Yeah, I don't know. I was never a huge Who fan, but I was never against it. I just kind of was like,
no, but I'm saying Beatles, Stones, Who.
Sure.
Right. There's
Beatles, Stones, Who. Yeah.
There's maybe only 3 or 4 Beatles songs that I like.
Yeah, if you had to pick out of the 3, sure, I would pick the Who.
I mean,
probably.
I could probably double the amount of Beatles songs if I include. I like the old black and white Beatles more than the later Beatles.
I do too, because I like a pop song.
I like a tight pop song, and those are really well done pop songs. So with
psychedelics, I'm not really into the psychedelic part, and I'm not really. And the Stones, I like the idea of the Stones. I like the rock and roll attitude. I just don't like the blues. I don't like. Oh, let's all play rough versions of blues songs, and have no endings.
To what I know at this point, I mean, Jumpin' Jack Flash is okay. I like Paint It Black. Everybody likes Paint It Black.
All right. Yeah.
And Gimme Shelter. Love Gimme Shelter. That's a great song.
I like 80 Stones. 80 Stones is all right.
You know, yeah, actually, there was Undercover the Night and Too Much Blood. Those were pretty good.
Yeah, when they're kind of, the bass lines are getting a little disco-y, and they're kind of, you could hear the influence coming in.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, it's few and far between with the Stones.
But I like the Stones they're the most rock and roll spirit, I give it, you know.
Who?
Nah.
Dude. Are you kidding me? Roger Daltrey is a street brawler.
Yeah,
he likes to
that's
fight.
True. That's true.
Pete Townsend is a fucking musical genius.
I'm going to say here's something.
Entwistle and Keith Moon? Come on.
Keith Moon. I'm going to say it. I'll say it.
Keith
Moon stinks.
Keith Moon does not stink.
He's all over. He's hitting cymbals when they don't need to be hit.
He's playing the drums like a lead instrument.
Yeah.
He's playing linear drums. No, it's amazing. Dude, honestly, any of the Who stuff after Moon died and they get these session drummers or whatever, Simon, whatever his name is, and then the guy that they've had now for forever.
Zach Starkey.
Oh, Zach Starkey, that's right. I was like, I knew it was somebody famous. Couldn't think of it. They're fine, but it's not quite the Who the way it was with Moon. With Moon, it was the chaos. It was like people like it's like a jet airplane.
That is the rock and roll spirit. Is the chaos, the combustibility of that, and his playing showed that.
I mean, I think the Who were much more like rock and roll than Zeppelin.
Yeah.
You know, and Zeppelin was probably much more rock and rolly than the Stones.
Yeah.
And the Stones were much more rock and rolly than the Beatles.
Yeah.
Although, you know, I respect them all. And the Beatles,
they're all cool in different ways.
The Beatles definitely had a lot of genius, and those guys were definitely fucking solid as a band and knew what they were doing. And,
I think they'd be the coolest to hang out with. I think they need to hang out with.
Depends.
I think I get along the best with the Beatles as far as the
definitely
way they think.
Definitely with Paul McCartney. He's fun. George Harrison, I think, would just...
They're boring.
Him with all the yoga and Eastern...
I think they would be a little boring, but I don't mind that.
Ringo would be super cool.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be bad. Yeah, they wouldn't be loud drunks, you know.
Well, John was mercurial.
Loud drunks annoy me, you know, especially loud British drunks. But yeah, man, imagine if we had a time machine. I always think, if I had a time machine, man, if I went back there, wow, you know.
What are you saying? Knowing what you know now?
Sure.
But yeah.
Oh man, I'd be Jimi Hendrix on the bass. I'd be doing pull-ups and everything. People would be like, he's from outer space, you know.
Yeah, definitely. But when you think about it, you know, like I was saying, like back to those early bands that came out in '64. You know, and pound for pound, like I say, you know, I could probably get like 6 Beatles songs that I like, maybe 5 Stones songs I mentioned, but with Who songs, there's probably like 8.
Yeah, maybe. I guess with all of them, though, their main songs have been played to death. That's why, with all of them, I'll take their B-sides over anything, because I'm tired of the main ones that they just beat. The classic radio is just beat them down to the ground to where it's like, I can't even listen to it anymore.
No, I know. I'm with you. They got the classic radio on at work, and it's like, look, I don't got anything against Bryan Adams' Cuts Like a Knife, but I've literally been hearing it since I was 12.
Yeah.
Like, these things come on, and I remember watching these on MTV when I was, like, 12 years old and shit like that. Like, I love Def Leppard and the early Def Leppard, and it's like, Photograph, Foolin', you know.
They only play the main ones. See, that's what pisses me off. Like, it's just infuriating.
Yeah. The classic rock radio, just the churn, it's like, oh, my God, it makes me nuts.
I know.
Like, there's nothing new. They never play anything new on there. One day, one of the radios in there was on 95.5. Is that the Gannon station now? It was playing shit I had never heard before.
It could be Froggy.
No, it was not Froggy.
No,
that's 94.7.
Something like that. Yeah.
Froggy 94.7, or maybe that's the Phoenix one. I don't know. Every city has a Froggy.
Yeah, it's a franchise.
It's
a feed.
Yeah.
But I know. I always said, why don't they start? I always say B-side radio. Give us the same bands, but play the song like I always said. The flip side of the 45s were always better. Like, I remember getting the 45 to fucking Van Halen Jump, and on the backside was House of Pain.
Yeah.
And you go, I want to hear House of Pain. Give me the flip side of the 45 of all these classic rock bands. What was on the other side?
You know, I mean, speaking
of that,
you had
a radio station that was just the B-sides. Imagine that.
Besides radio.
Yeah, I think that would be incredible.
I mean, you could probably do that as a XM Sirius station.
They should.
Yeah.
They should, yeah, stream it.
But you know, that's one aspect that I've never really gotten my head around because of the time that we were born and grew up. We grew up in the age of LPs. When we think of records,
yeah, but we had cassettes. We weren't LP people.
No. I'm talking before we were 10 years old.
Oh yeah.
We grew up in the age of LPs.
Yeah, we grew up in that. Yes.
When we think of records, I think of an LP, an album.
Sure. Yes. Same.
That's what I think a record is.
Yeah.
But apparently in the 50s and 60s, it was about the 45s.
Yeah, my brother had a whole stack of 45s. Yeah, tons.
And so apparently the thing was that the album that we're so used to was like a really recent sort of invention.
Oh, I see what you're saying. There's more years of the 45 than there was of the 33.
Yeah, apparently.
Yes.
I mean, and nobody tells you this. Nobody says this.
Yeah.
But when you watch these sort of documentaries and stuff, like on Disney Plus, they got the Beatles thing where it's the 4 episodes of them making that one album in like 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is a fascinating documentary.
Yeah.
I still haven't made it all the way through, but I watched that first one like 7 times.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. And they're talking about, we need to put out a record. So a record is a 45. So they needed to put out a single, which was the A side, and then the B side. And their whole thing was that, if John gets a song on the A side, it's going to be McCartney on the B side, and so they wanted to make both songs, not like a really good song and then an okay song. They wanted them both to be really good. So they ended up with these, what do they call them, like double A side or something. I don't know. There's some name for it or something like that. But just this whole idea of just the culture of 45s.
Yeah.
Individual songs.
Yeah.
It was like the old barbaric version of like the wax cylinder version of like iTunes Store where you could just buy songs.
Yeah. Remember the cassette single, the Cassingle?
Cassingles, yeah.
Cassingles were wild.
Yeah.
Because that sometimes you got lucky on a Cassingle and they give you 4 songs. It'd be like 2 on a side. Or you get like 2 on one side and you flip the Cassingle over and it'd be the same 2.
Yeah.
They put it next to each other,
Well, yeah.
Or it'd be like a weird remix of it or something like, oh, the radio edit. Oh, this one version without swearing or something,
Yeah, because even on those Cassingles, I mean, there was only, a little bit of tape in there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a full 90-minute cassette or whatever.
No. The single was, the 45s were all right, but I just felt like it was a lot of maintenance. I remember my brother having stacks of them, and it was a mess. It was always a big pile, and then we'd go to Grandma's house and listen to 45s, and it was one after the other, so he's making a mess.
Yeah, you got to shuffle them every song.
And there's nothing ever to look at, other than if he had a Kiss one that had, say, maybe,
But they never did any art on the 45s.
No, all I know is like, oh, there's the Kiss logo, and there's the Casablanca Records logo.
It was the Casablanca thing.
Or there's that little RCA dog.
Yep.
That was about it.
Yeah.
There wasn't really any artwork to be had.
Not on the 45s.
Clear sleeves.
No, hell no.
Yeah, they're in little white, yellow, or white paper circles.
Yeah. No, only on the LPs. Oh. That brought something to mind I was gonna fucking talk about. I think it slipped my mind though.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing with the 45s is because there's nothing to look at on them.
No.
Oh, and the fact of always having to keep swapping them out. You listen to one song and then you got to put the other one on. It sucks.
But the arm thing, we used to lift them up and, so you could put a couple on deck.
I guess so.
Remember how they would drop them?
Yeah.
You could stack a few. You'd stack them like pancakes.
Oh yeah, with the plastic cylinder guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we grew up, the whole record thing was like retro. Like I had a handful of albums, of actual albums, when I first got into music. I had the first 2 Def Leppard albums on disc. I had Speak of the Devil on disc. I had Motley Crue Shout at the Devil on disc. Not disc, but I know what I wanted to mention on Platters Records. Back in the day, the LPs.
Yeah.
You get the full album on that. Those are the only ones I remember having on album. Then after that, I started buying cassettes. My first 2 were Fair Warning and Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced? Oh, yeah. I remember those.
I remember you have Fair Warning, but I had already burnt that out by the time you got to you. But I remember you having you had the Jimi Hendrix.
Yep.
Because we all had the same cassette tapes, but there's like the back end of the cassette row that we all had. And then you would have a couple different ones that I didn't have, you know.
Yeah.
So you go, oh, he's got Are You Experienced? Let's play that one. I'm tired of Anthrax. I'm tired of all these other ones we keep playing.
I remember later on you had that Loudness album.
Yeah, Thunder in the East.
Yeah, and you had that Tora Tora album.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I had a couple weird ones like that.
I had Dangerous Toys.
Yeah, I had some weird, strange ones that I knew that no one else had.
Remember, and I stumbled across these guys on YouTube. There was a metal band from Seattle called Panic.
Huh.
Those guys were great.
There's that Detroit band too. I remember Seduce. I bought the Seduce. I had to mail order that one.
That was from the movie.
Yeah, I was and they were super cool.
Yeah, they weren't bad.
Yeah,
they weren't bad.
I was really into Seduce
because they seem to have better sort of songwriting.
Yeah,
the songwriting wasn't too
I remember I waited like 3 weeks. I had a special order of that through a weird catalog and something like that. I went,
well, Hall special ordered a Witchfinder General double album from Japan for $30.
And in those days, $30 would be like 120 now.
I bought it off him. I have it.
Oh yeah, you still to this day have it?
Fuck yeah. It's the Witchfinder and Death Penalty albums.
Wow.
So back in the day, the Witchfinder General was this band.
Sabbathy kind of Satan-y band.
Yeah, it was sort of like sludge rock. Once again, pretty good songwriting, you know. And it was a tape that was passed around. So everybody would make copies of this tape.
Yeah, and all ours were like fourth generation versions of this weird record.
Way more than fourth generation.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I've got the CD. So when you put the CD in and play it, they're on standard tuning, maybe down a half step. When you did, I remember learning a couple of Witchfinder General songs, so I was going to jam with Chuck Hunter. Man, you had to tune down the guitar like 2.5 steps. Because... And then when you get the CD to compare it against at a constant play speed, you realize that the tape dubbing from generation to generation got slower and slower and tuned down more and tuned down more.
Oh, it was warpage, yeah.
So it was all warpage. And nobody realized that. Because I remember I went and saw Chuck Hunter and I told him about that later. I ran into him at Sherlock's. And he's like, man, you got to drop tuning down, you know? And I'm like, no, you don't. Like they're not that low. They're not that slow.
No, we just had 5th and 6th generation bullshit.
No, like 25 and 27 generation. Like for that amount of slowage, that's got to be like hundreds of generations.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot. But it was sort of interesting. But I still have it. Because those 2 albums, that was essentially the Witchfinder General stuff.
I remember somebody like at a party and was like, dude, we're gonna play. Who's got a blank tape? We're about to play some Witchfinder General. And I pulled out of my jean jacket a tape. I had a cassette tape, and I don't even know what was on, like band
Always
practice
had
stuff.
cassette tapes.
And I put a Band-Aid over the thing, and I was like, I got a blank one. And then as they played the Witchfinder during the party,
you duped it.
They recorded it on this whatever that I had the Band-Aids on the top.
Yeah.
And there was my version of the Witchfinder album. I was like, whew, I got lucky on that one. I was like winning the lottery.
Even when I got it on tape, I had Witchfinder General album on one side and Death Penalty on the other.
Yeah.
So I always had all those songs. So it's nice now that I have them on CD. On one, I think it's like, I mean, their songs are pretty short. So I think it's just, you know.
Yeah, I remember seeing like it in the record store for a short time because it had like a naked lady on the cover, and then they discontinued it, and I went back the next week to try to buy it at some store, and the lady Debbie Lyons was like, oh, you got a special order of that now. They discontinued it because of the cover.
There were several albums that had bare breasts on them back in the day.
Yeah, and this was one of the ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think it sold that well. I think those albums came out.
And it was questionably Satanist, you know.
No, it's not. They got a song called Beer.
Yeah, no, well, I know, but when you consider that time,
dude,
everyone had satanic panic.
So it's a lady with the old white peasant top sort of pulled open. She's up on a plinth where there's stockades. The guys in the bands are dressed up like pilgrims.
Yeah.
So. I mean,
yeah, it's very tame.
Yeah. I mean,
I've seen Wasp covers more risque than that. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Blackie Lawless with the saw blade case. Parents did not like that.
Our parents were like, "Whoa!"
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Because I remember with the Shout at the Devil album, on the inside, because there was the paper sleeve. The paper sleeve had the lyrics to it.
Mm-hmm.
My mom read the lyrics for 10 Seconds to Love. And I got home from school one day and she was pissed.
Really?
Yeah, because that's about getting a blowjob in the elevator.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, "What is this filth?" I'm like, I don't even really like these guys that much.
I never got questioned with music, other than my dad would peek in and he'd be like, "What are you listening to? That's terrible." I would just get, "That's terrible." But nobody ever told me to, don't listen to that, because it's satanic or anything like that.
No.
I don't think my parents even
None of
knew
it
what
was.
they're saying.
We didn't listen to any of the satanic stuff.
No.
We didn't
I remember I was listening to a Saxon record once. A cassette.
They're so tame. They're so tame.
I know. My dad was like, I remember him coming in and going, "That's terrible. Whatever you're listening to is terrible."
Well, they weren't good songwriters.
I was like, "Oh, Dad, you don't know anything. This is Saxon, man."
What was that album they had? Denim and Leather or something like that?
Yeah, it was after that. Yeah, it was.
Those guys were totally like late 70s.
It had like a 10-minute battle scene in it, like an audio battle scene.
Really?
Yeah, like a medieval battle scene.
Nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are totally like late 70s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely in the 80s, the band started to look at things a different way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyway, fun retro times.
Yeah, we were retro metaling on you.
But you know what I wanted to say in terms of, you were saying that with the 45s, your brother had like a whole stack of them and that sort of shit. And that's what you always see in the 50s and 60s, like kids sitting around the room with a little record player and his records everywhere.
Yeah.
You got to swap them out all the time.
They were everywhere.
It got like that for me with the early days of compact discs. I was swimming in compact discs. I was this close to buying a 500 disc CD carousel, almost like a jukebox that you plug into your computer.
Yeah.
Because between the CDs, the DVDs, game discs for the computer, and then once we all had CD burners, Dan, my guitar player, would always be like, "Here's a disc. I wrote a song last night." So I had 100 discs with one song
early
on them.
2000s CD burns. I would have
That's what I'm saying. The early 2000s there.
Yeah.
I was swimming in discs.
Yeah.
It was like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
But then luckily they came out with hard drives.
Yes.
Better
Yeah.
hard drives.
I will say that was the upside of the advent of the MP3 in the in the Napster world. Then it was like, all right, it's all good and contained here. This is getting zany.
So much with the CDs. Like I said, because I had a shit ton of DVDs, which I still do, shit ton of music discs. At that time it was, CD player in the car sort of thing. So there were CDs.
Well, we got
everybody
to the
had the
point,
book that you put the CDs in for the
we
car.
would do that. We would, because I needed the jewel cases to make CDRs of my band. So I would take all the CDs I had, use the jewel cases to make demos for my band, and then I would just put the rest in like the CD photo albums,
for the car. Little zipper case.
Yeah.
So because you could put the booklet, the insert, and the disc in there.
So you could save the artwork and everything like that, and then get rid of the jewel case and use the jewel case for pirating your own records.
Because very few people had the CD Walkmans, but everybody had a CD player in the car.
Oh yeah, that was a given. Yeah,
that was a given.
Yeah, or people held on to CDs.
I mean, once they got oversampling, because I have a CD Walkman that was before oversampling.
Yeah.
If you look at it funny, it skips.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
Because remember, didn't Jones have an early CD player, and it would?
I had one that had the oversampling, and the sound quality wasn't as good. So if you set it on the counter, it'd be fine and it'd sound pretty good. But if you clicked it in the mode to where you wanted to move it around, where it wouldn't skip.
I didn't know they had those in between models.
The sound quality went down a little bit. It wasn't
funny.
quite as crispy. It's kind of like turning off the Dolby button.
Well, because they didn't have the buffer technology. Because basically what it would do is it would read ahead.
Yeah.
So that if it got bumped, it could pull from the read ahead file to cover up that area where it would have lost tracking for 2 seconds.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that must have been the in-between where the buffer was still sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't carry it around so much, but I would move it. You could move it.
Because this was why in the early days, the CD player for your car was a whole thing, where there was the control player up front, but you'd put a 5-disc carousel in the trunk because it get jostled around less.
Yeah, I mean, and there were some of our car guru friends that would have the big car stereos. They would have like 32. Danny Thompson would have he'd have massive CDs back there.
Oh yeah.
He'd have like spindle upon spindle upon spindle. He'd have like probably 50 easy.
Oh, easily. Yeah, I mean they were like rolling PA systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Seems so antiquated now.
it does. It does. Like swimming in the compact discs, like I said, movies, games, audio was like, it was making me crazy. So
But I did like the art, though. And CDs still were able to maintain the art, which was kind of cool.
yeah.
So that was cool. CDs were. I miss CDs in a weird way, Yeah, cassettes. I like the tonal quality of them, but
I hated cassettes.
I just knew because they always melted. I knew they were temporary.
And they warped, and they'll start to get stretched out.
Yeah,
and they play,
sunbaked
and
on.
they
Yeah, they
warpy.
sunbake.
Ugh, I hate it.
Leave them in the sun or on the dashboard, and then you have it.
Ugh, I hated tape. Audio tape, videotape. I hated tape.
Tape stinks.
I hated tape.
How are we doing on time? Well, we should wrap. Oh, I was going to ask you, though, before I go. What was I going to ask you? Oh, two things. Did you see, guess what trailer came out today? Did you see the trailer to Spider-Man Noir?
No.
2-minute trailer. It looks pretty good.
Is that animated?
No. Really? But it says at the very end, wait, I had to write it down, available in watch it in color or black and white noir.
Oh.
They're going to have 2 versions of it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes. And it looked pretty good. It was a noir, and it looked like Nicolas Cage, and he got bit by the spider, but he's like a private eye who's kind of weird and kind of twitching and stuff. He doesn't know what's going on with him and having problems. So it's kind of like a noir private eye film, but he was bit by the spider. So therefore, but he's going through these weird druggy relapse looking scenes, and he's sweating. He doesn't know what's wrong with him. I don't think he realizes he was bit by a spider.
It's live action.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And there's some of that old timey talk. So there, Mister, how you doing?
I mean, if you're gonna,
yeah, it was a lot. You got to watch the trailer though. It's totally worthy. It's 2 minutes, quick, pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't know that was out.
Yeah, just today.
I still haven't actually been able to fully see the Masters of the Universe trailer.
Oh, I did once, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not our thing. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but I mean,
Skeletor.
It just seems so goofy.
There's no need for it. There's no need.
Well,
for that.
I mean, they're scratching the nostalgia for that younger age. I mean, our nostalgia age is past. Our nostalgia age they fucking ruined, because it was the Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They blew Star Wars.
And the Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark type stuff, and Spielbergian blockbusters.
Yeah.
They ran all that into the ground and destroyed it all.
Blew it. Our generation blew itself.
Even the Muppets thing. That's why I'm hoping this new version of the Muppets is.
Oh, no,
is
I
good.
told you it's great. It's exactly what it is. It's exactly like it used to be, just better colors.
I haven't watched it yet.
And more modern songs.
Just got to get over the voices.
Yeah, like I said, the Kermit voice was the only thing that detached me. But Miss Piggy made up for it. So in a weird way, Miss Piggy was kind of like, hey, she's kind of stealing the show here.
Yeah, I think I saw her like in an ad or something like that recently.
Yeah.
Where the voice was a little bit off, but
Yeah, no, it's good. It was really good. It's well done. What else? There's something else. Yeah. We passed it up. This was kind of funny, but I didn't. It's out of context now, so it wouldn't work. Maybe we'll talk about it. You know how we just got past the Super Bowl, right?
Oh yeah.
Super Bowl. So I always, just because I'm nosy like that, I'm like, I wonder if you go to this. The price of tickets are astronomical. We know that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I wrote down what do you think? What do you expect to pay? I got the beer prices and liquid prices at the Super Bowl. Now keep in mind, you're in San Francisco for the Super Bowl.
I mean, even back in the late 90s.
It's a Bud Light sponsored Anheuser-Busch products.
Back in the late 90s, when I moved out to Phoenix, me and my brother were going to hockey games a lot because one of my supervisors at work had season tickets.
Right.
Because he had a sports memorabilia business. And I remember the beers were like $6. Because I remember we could take a 20, and you could get one beer per period. And they'd leave you
Were they drafts?
Yeah.
16-ounce drafts?
Yes.
Yeah.
For $6. And that was a long time
like a
ago.
solo red cup kind of thing?
Yep, the clear ones. So I figured these days it's got to be like $12 for a beer.
Yeah. Well, at Super Bowl LX, here's what they paid. American canned lager, a 12-ounce can of Bud Light.
Bud Light.
$17.50.
See, I wasn't too far off.
All right.
Well, I said 12, but yeah.
A can of Stella was $19.
Jeez.
A can of Bud Light Seltzer was $17.50. Okay. A premium draft beer, which was 20 ounces, was $22.50. Wow. Oh, okay. Wine and bubbly. How about this? Barefoot canned wine, 12-ounce canned wine, barefoot, which is generally
$32.
no, believe it or not, 16. Not too bad.
Oh, that's actually really not bad.
It's actually, yeah. I think if you're drinking there, wine, you probably get more for your buck out of it. Because a can of barefoot wine for 16 is still cheaper than a can of Bud for 17.50.
Because the equivalency is usually 12-ounce beer, 5-ounce wine, 1.5-ounce shot.
But you see how these prices are strategic? 17.50 because they want the tip. Now you keep in mind you got a tip.
Yeah.
So they're throwing 20s down. You're throwing 20 a drink. You know, and your bartender's getting whatever.
Yeah.
That's another thing, the tipping thing. That's a whole nother rant. Okay. A bottle of Whitehaven Sauvignon Blanc. Just a bottle of wine. White.
Bottle of wine?
Yeah.
32?
68.
So double.
Yes. Whitehaven Sauvignon. A glass is $17. Ugh.
Man.
All right, but here, if you wanted a premium premium cocktail, $24 to $40, depending.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a mixed drink.
Now, an Aquafina water, a 12-ounce water, how much do you think they're charging for a bottle of water?
$6.
Close, $8.
Yeah, I was
$8. See, that, to me, I think there should be a law. Like, you shouldn't be able to charge more than 100%. Like, you shouldn't be able to double its intrinsic value.
Yeah.
You
right?
know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
There should be a law on that. Because selling water at that's why Woodstock rioted, you know?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to sell $12 waters.
Yeah.
You can't, that's wrong.
I mean, it used to be you could go to the gas station and get a gallon of water for $1.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, so you want to overcharge me. All right, $2, $3.
Right.
Give me $3. I've been known to play $4. I'll go $4, you know. But $8?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just
Especially in the
greed.
hot sun. And then it's a hot day out.
It's greed. It's greed.
It is. They're just
Runaway greed.
Yeah, just because you can charge it doesn't mean you should.
Because the thing is, they're running away with the greed, but it's not like we're getting paid more. Anytime any talk comes up for people getting paid more, everybody whines and cries and goes, I wouldn't even be able to have a business because I have to pay the people more. It's like, you say that as you've got your fancy car, your jet skis, your third vacation house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like the guy who owns the local pizza restaurant and hires minimum wage teenagers for $6 an hour. Yeah, that we have to tip.
Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the intrinsic value of something, there should be a cap on the intrinsic value of something.
In my mind, it is. There is.
Like soda pop, like they're trying, like, there's something on here about soda pop. All right.
Ugh.
Draft soda pop. Oh, assorted Pepsi products. $8.50 a can. A 30-ounce souvenir soda was $16. Refills for $12. So you must get a plastic cup.
Wow.
For a plastic cup and just draft. Yeah, it's robbery. But some of those prices aren't super bad. But I mean,
Most of them are.
yeah, most of them are. But I think they're strategic. They probably would have gone higher, but they want people to tip.
It's like a slice of pizza. How much would you pay for a slice of pizza? Like one of those mall pizza slices, the big triangle.
I mean, I think any more than 5 would be ridiculous.
Yeah. That's about.
But I would have to say $4. Give me $4, I could tip them $1.
Four would be okay. 6 is like, I don't know if it's worth it.
No, I don't want to go past the 5.
$8-9, it's totally not worth it.
Yeah, I'd say charge me $4 1/4. I'll throw 75 cents in the tip jar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even that'll get me on a tip rant. The service.
Speaking of tip rant.
Huh?
Speaking of tip rants.
Oh, I get tip rants. I get crazy on it because everyone's got their hand outstretched now.
Well, I mean, they started
Just to flip the kiosk around to you.
They started putting that surcharge on all your restaurant bills just to make up for how little they pay the employees.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
And then these owners will go, you can't raise minimum wage to $15.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then they'll charge more. You know what I mean? And it has nothing, it's like these poor kids are going to earn $15 an hour,
It's
which
because
is cool.
the greed of the owners, they can't have anybody dipping into their profits because it's all my profits, it's all for me.
Me, I know, yeah.
Yep.
Like I remember like those mall jobs were always like that. Like I'd work pizza boy at the mall and it's like there's 6 of us and we're all making $3 an hour,
Oh, yeah.
And they're charging like $2.99 for a slice of pizza. And he'd come around, Vito would come around, eat pizza. You pay full price for pizza. It's like, you mean I have to work 1 hour for one of these slices of pizza that I'm just you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But he wouldn't give us a free piece of pizza. And we were employees.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have time.
Eating
But
my
in those
profits.
days, they didn't have the kiosk. Like now, they got the whole thing. Look, you go to pick up your order. Like, oh, I'm here to pick up my pizza. Hi, I'm Aaron. Okay, that'll be $18.50. And you go, $18.50. And then they spin, here's your card. Beep, spin the thing around. Oh, how much you want to leave for a tip? 25%? Yeah, I want to leave a $6 tip on top of it. No.
Yeah.
The girl didn't do anything.
No.
Yeah, where's this tip money going? The owners are probably kiking it.
Yeah, they work the register.
Yeah.
So it's like, I worked the register when I was working retail. I don't get tips.
Yeah.
You just stand there and ring stuff up.
Especially digital tips. I question if those poor kids are getting digital tips. Now, if I had a $2 in my pocket and they had a little cup there, I'm more inclined to pull $2 out of my pocket and throw it in that cup because I know those kids are splitting the cup.
Yeah.
But the digital tip is going into the cosmic jizz.
It's going in the system.
Yeah, and Daddy Warbucks at the top of the mountain there is not getting that poor little kid the tips.
Right.
And you can't tell me they get them.
And sometimes at that point, you don't even notice because you don't even feel the tip.
Yeah. And I didn't even get a service. I didn't even, you know what I mean? She didn't do anything.
Because sometimes with Crazy Monkey, people may add a tip, for us, the guys that come out and do the work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if they do it when they're paying with a card or whatever, that just goes into the system, and we just get it on a check. So when you get your check, you just get your check and you look at the amount. Well, you don't even get the check. I just look at my bank account. I'm like, oh, look, I got paid. I got paid this amount. I don't have anything saying that there was 20 extra bucks in there for you.
Yeah.
Because the people were really happy with your service. Because there is something where you get the immediate satisfaction and gratification. Like we went to the open mic last night.
Yeah.
I bought my couple of beers with the cash I had in my pocket from tips from people from Crazy Monkey over the summer. There'd be guys that give us each a 20. Sometimes they give us a 5 here and there. It accumulates. And then I got cash on me. I don't normally use cash or need cash, so I just hang on to it, keep it with my wallet. Because there was one time out in Phoenix, we had a problem with the gas supply. And I was trying to, I was coming from the city to the East Valley, and I was just about out of gas. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to make it. I need to get gas now. And I pulled off, and there's this weird little gas station in the middle of nowhere. And that's all there is. And I'm on fumes. Like, I don't want to get stranded out here. And I go to the gas pump, swipe my card, system's down.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Ever since then, I always keep an emergency 20 in my wallet, just in case.
I don't do that. But I do have a Captain Ahab's treasure pile in my car. Like, I have that little dish with the tons of silver in there. To where it's like a...
Yeah, worst comes to worst, you at least get like $5, which will get you at least to the next Circle K.
Right, yeah. I always call it toll money. But
yeah. Oh, my God, yeah.
But at least tolls now are all that easy. We have an Easy Pass now.
Yeah, the Easy Pass thing.
But in the old days, remember tolls? In the old days...
Throwing in the coins?
Yeah, there was a couple times when I was going south in 2015, and around those years, you'd have to slow down, throw it in the thing.
Yeah.
And there's times they took my picture because I didn't get it right. I must have missed or whatever, It's like...
And then you get a bill in the mail later?
Yeah, with your picture on it. They have you going... It's a grainy picture of you going...
Yeah, right. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, all right. We're out. 125. We're doing good.
All right, we'll call it there. So, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for making it all the way through. You guys are the cool kids. Like the video, please. It really helps us with the algorithm. YouTube doesn't know what to do with us. They can't categorize us, put us into some sort of silo. The more likes we get, the more it'll recommend it to other people because people are enjoying it. So if you're watching all this way, you're enjoying it. We're here with you. If you're working, good job. Keep doing the thing. We appreciate you. We appreciate what you do.
Yes.
And
Thursday at noon, Flickety review.
Shlicketty Review Cast new episodes coming out on Thursdays. Get you through those last couple of days. Now, that's a short one, so that's maybe a lunch breaker or just in the afternoon before you leave or something like that.
Yeah, good
Nice.
lunch breaker.
Yeah, nice little episode. But definitely subscribe. Shoot us an email. Say hi. Tell us a funny story. Tell us a joke. Ask us a question. If you guys ask questions, we'll answer them here on the show. So okay. Yeah, cool. That's about it. Lucky Warrior says bye-bye.
Hiya.
And we'll see you guys next week.